Hello and Namaste. I am Ketan Kank from 192 Consulting. In this video, we are going to see how an IEPFA claim can be filed in a step-by-step manner. But before proceeding with the procedure for filing of the IEPFA claim, just to revise whatever has been shared in the earlier videos, first, the claim has to be filed through authentic, legitimate IEPFA portal only. Point number 2, before filing the claim, it is important that the investor should have his or her own account on the IEPFA portal. And now, after having created an account, let's see how the claim has to be filed in a step-by-step format. I have the home screen of IEPFA open in front of me. I will be referring to the screen so that I don't miss any point while sharing the inputs on this video. So once you see the IEPFA home screen in front of you, there is a tab in the upper blue line which states as MCA services. Once you go in the MCA services, there is a list of services that gets open in front of you. You have to click on IEPFA related services. After going in IEPFA related services, there is another drop down which appears in front of the investors. If you read out that list, it states the list gives out the number of IEPFA forms. Once we go in the IEPFA forms, it's IEPFA-5 web form one has to click. So one has to click on the IEPFA-5 web form. IEPFA-5 web form is the form through which the claim has to be filed. Now, once you enter into the IEPFA web form, the first thing it will ask whether the company has issued an entitlement letter or not. At the primary stage, IEPFA makes it clear whether the investor has an entitlement letter or the investor is filing the claim without an entitlement letter. Now, the concept of entitlement letter and how it has to be obtained has been shared in our earlier videos. Investors are advised to refer to our earlier videos to get clarified about the entitlement letter. If the investor clicks on whether he has the entitlement letter, then the second thing that the IEPFA will ask as to who is filing the claim, whether the investor himself or herself is filing the claim or the claim is being filed by the authorized representative of the investor. Now, it is important for the investors to understand over here that if the claim is being filed by the authorized representative, then a power of attorney or a letter of authority is mandatory to be attached along with the claim letters. Otherwise, the IEPFA will not allow the claim to be filed. See, in my earlier week's video, I have shared that there is a lot of unverified and unsolicited information being circulated in the society. So, I have also advised the investors to get into or to check the credentials of the persons who are claiming to be the assistance providers to the investors regarding the filing of the claim. If the person is a chartered accountant, lawyer, or a company secretary, then only I would advise an investor to actually trust with the professional who is claiming that he will provide assistance on the reclaiming assignments. So that's one thing. I'll again repeat my advisory. Please run a thorough background check of the person who is approaching you with regards to the claim, because the investments are quite vulnerable for any kind of online frauds, and please don't fall prey to any kind of unsolicited, unverified information that is being circulated through the internet. So, if the investor is filing the claim through an authorized representative, then letter of authority is very important to be attached. Unless and until a letter of authority is there, the IEPFA will not entertain claim or it will get rejected immediately. Going ahead, the next field that is to be filled in the IEPF-5 web form is that the category of the claimant. So there are particularly two categories. First is individual and second one is entity. Most of the cases deal with the individuals filing their claim. So we will particularly deal with the investor. So if we click on the individual, then the details or the web form will generate the details accordingly, or if the entity is being generated, then the details will be entered accordingly. The primary details required for individuals are PAN and Aadhaar, and for entity it would be the CIN and the certificate of incorporation. CIN is corporate identification number, which is mentioned on the certificate of incorporation of the entity in case entity is filing the claim. Entity is kind of any body corporate, I would say. If a particular company or if company is filing the claim, then it will require a board resolution to be filed while filing the claim. For an individual to file a claim, no such board resolution is required because that is not applicable altogether. After meticulously filing all the details, the IEPFA's portal will again generate an OTP which will be sent on the mobile number and the email. Now, talking about the OTPs, if the investors are aware or go back to our earlier videos, I have deliberately mentioned over there that please provide your own mobile number and email addresses, as OTPs will be sent multiple times during these assignments, during this task, so that if the mobile number and email are there with you or you are accessible to the email, then itself it becomes seamless to file a claim, because it is needless to say that the OTPs are time bound, and if you are struggling with procuring that OTP, then your claim may also get time barred and you will have to start all over again. So please provide your own mobile number and email address so that the claim filing process becomes hassle free. After having sent that OTP, the investor has to access that OTP and enter the OTP into the system, which will be verified by the system, and then only the next web page will open wherein the next set of details will be asked to the investors. After entire details are being meticulously filled by the investor, then the claim gets filed, and as shared earlier or as stated earlier, an acknowledgement of the claim will be sent on the email address of the investor, wherein the person has to take a printout of that acknowledgement and the indemnity bond, which is auto-generated after filing of the claim. The indemnity bond has to be executed on a stamp paper, and appropriate stamp duty has to be paid on the indemnity bond. It has to be signed by the investors along with the witnesses, and all the documents which are uploaded in a scanned format are to be sent physically to the nodal officer of the company. Thereafter, the nodal officer of the company will go through the scanned papers and the physical papers which are sent to him, prepare his own report which is called as e-verification report. We have dealt with the concept of e-verification report in one of our earlier videos, and after that e-verification report is filed with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs will see whether the nodal officer has recommended that the claim be approved or rejected. E-verification report again is a web form. All the data has to be entered into that report in a prescribed format and electronically. So if the nodal officer has recommended that the claim be rejected based on any discrepancy found by him, the ministry will automatically reject the claim. The system will throw the claim out of it just because the nodal officer has recommended not to approve it, or the nodal officer has recommended to reject the claim. However, if the nodal officer has recommended that the claim be approved, then the ministry will run its own check over the claim, over the documents, and then if the ministry finds that the documents are in order, then the claim will be approved and the shares will be credited subsequently. So this was all about the procedure of filing the claim through IEPF-5 web form. Should you have any query relating to filing of the claim or reclaiming of your investments, you can feel free to get back to us. You can reach out to us by marking your comments in the comment section of this video, or you can also write an email to us on info@192.in. We will be all the more happy to help. Meanwhile, this is Ketan Kank signing off for a time being. Thank you so much.